dozens of Clark County residents are still being impacted by a road closure.
It is on Red River Road, just off of Irvin Road, at a train bridge that has been shut down by the state because of its deteriorating condition. It's now been 3 weeks since Clark County declared a state of emergency for that closure.
Well, tonight, people living in the area voiced their concerns to county leaders in Winchester with the heavy rains in the forecast now. WKYT's Jeremy Toms has our top story at 11.
For 50 years, Vicki DeVary has lived on Red River Road.
We've just stayed. It's home. My husband and I are retired, and it's home.
They love their peaceful, remote lifestyle, but in the weeks since the bridge connecting them to Irvin Road closed,
It makes me feel trapped. What if an emergency should happen and we can't get out?
that exact question was on the minds of around a dozen homeowners who came to speak at Clark County Fiscal Court Thursday, as a concerning weather forecast could make the road impassable in both directions.
From the low water crossing to the railroad bridge, they're going to be hemmed in for 3 days. That's minimum.
About a month into this closure, County Judge Executive Les Yates says CSX does own the bridge, but has not given them any plans on how they intend to fix it.
They agreed to maintain it in perpetuity. That's forever. We cannot let this go with the railroad.
It's very frustrating sitting back, waiting on them.
So they've set up a solution in the meantime with East Kentucky Power to allow emergency vehicles onto a gravel road near their power plant, which bypasses the creek bed and connects to Red River Road, allowing first responders to save crucial minutes.
Now that we have permission to come across East Kentucky, it will cut that time somewhere between 12 to 14 minutes as opposed to 27.
In Winchester, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
Now, residents also ask about using the gravel road, and East Kentucky Power said regular access won't be allowed due to their safety concerns. However, they may permit temporary access during emergencies, like what could happen this weekend if the water rises.